So the Labour Party in UK yesterday, that party headed by Jeremy Corbyn, had a big loss. Many thought they just may have pulled it through, but the polls never really said that. And I knew as soon as that happened that the corporate media here would immediately start making an equation between progressives in England and progressives in the United States, saying that you see what happened in England, they tried to go too left and they lost. The same thing is going to happen if we try to do the same here in the States. Well, already even Joe Biden is picking up that material about us not moving too far away from the center and all that crap. Here's the reality, folks. Those people who voted for the Conservative Party over there is tantamount to our Progressive Party in the fact that I'm not talking from a neoliberal portion of their international policy, but I'm talking about support for things like the national healthcare system, which none of them will dare touch, even as Jeremy Corbyn during the election process went ahead and said, the right is trying to privatize the NHS. The people in England, after having been used to the form of healthcare that they have, would never allow that. So when he used that as excuse to try to win the vote, that didn't work because to them, to people, it was not realistic. So his low favorability, which was even lower than the current prime minister, meant that what happened. But this is how we're spinning it here in America.
Let's just for a moment pause and get this into perspective, Andrea, because Boris Johnson's victory was spectacular. It's as if, for example, Donald Trump took not just Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, but swept Massachusetts as well and stuffed California in his back pocket just for good measure. An absolutely extraordinary win, down to number one, Brexit, and as you said, number two, Jeremy Corbyn, this 70-year-old socialist, almost Marxist leader who in the end convinced no one. And I was listening to your last discussion, Andrea, and I wonder if there are lessons for the Democrats in 2020 in the British election result, because voters here have held their noses, voters who are, let's call them Democrats, they've held their noses and voted for a conservative who is deeply, deeply flawed, as opposed to voting for their own tribal candidate who is of the far left. And I just wonder, is Bernie Sanders today, is Elizabeth Warren looking at what happened in Britain and wondering if their kinds of policies actually work? Because the centre in Britain went to the right in this election in a big way.
Did they come out and say that when Andrés Manuel López Obrador, the president of Mexico, won? Did they say that? Did they say, well, in Mexico, the country right south of America, the center moved to the left? Did they say that? No. Did they say that to any other government that we are noticing that have moved to the left because they've noticed what neoliberalism has done to their countries and what it is doing to the rest of the world? They didn't say that, but they're looking for every little inch to say, somebody moved to the right. Well, a UK moving to the right is nothing like America moving to the right, moving to the fringe. Folks, don't believe it, nor do not allow it to sell, nor do not allow your politicians to use that as an excuse. As soon as your politicians try to temper by saying, well, we need to move to some mythical center because, hey, look at what happened in England, look at what happened in the UK, let them know situations are different. We can make the case, we must make the case to America that what is happening over here in America, the pilfer that is occurring on the middle class and the poor must stop. It's not coming from the right. That stop is coming from progressives. Punto final.